3 years ago today, House Democrats passed the Equality Act with bipartisan support.
This landmark civil rights bill would ensure that all LGBTQI+ Americans can enjoy their basic human rights,
no matter where we live. Unfortunately, the Senate never voted on it.
It's 2024, and there are still no explicit federal protections for LGBTQI+ Americans.
Our community still lacks clear protections from discrimination in most states, meaning that your rights and protections depend on the zip code in which you live.
Although polls show that a majority of Americans support non-discrimination protections for LGBTQI+ people, Congress has yet to catch up.
The Equality Act addresses that.
It amends the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and other existing laws to explicitly prohibit discrimination
on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, and sex characteristics
in areas of employment, housing, education, credit, public accommodations, federally funded programs, and jury selection.
The Equality Act was reintroduced last June with the support of every House Democrat.
Last year, more than 550 bills were introduced at the state and federal level that attacked the humanity of my community,
seeking to strip them of their basic civil rights with one stroke of a pen.
With the passage of these state laws, parents are making excruciating choices to protect their children, including leaving their jobs, schools, homes, and communities just to ensure that their kids have access to basic resources.
And it's not just children that are being impacted by these restrictions. Adults are seeing their access to healthcare restricted, and many are forced to upend their lives just to survive.
In the wake of these attacks, the Equality Act will send a strong message to LGBTQI+ people everywhere that they belong by both codifying and expanding non-discrimination protections for our community.
The Equality Act is about equal access to the freedoms that every single American is entitled to. The freedom of all Americans to live where they want. The freedom to go to school or to work without fear.
The freedom to buy a home, get credit, and patronize businesses without having to second-guess whether they could be turned away.
All people are entitled to the fruits of democracy, equality, and justice for all.
The United States, an imperfect country still full of promise, is worth fighting for.
The Equality Act takes one more stride towards that promise. Let's keep fighting together.